Hey, it's Melissa. Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 3, week 35, ending December 11th, 2020. This isn't an endorsement to purchase any stocks that I bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor, and I'm letting you watch me on my journey. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in a confirmed uptrend. The S&P 500 index was down 1% for the week. It did hold above this blue box I drew a few weeks ago, but it declined the last 3 days. I added this pink line at 3650. I'd like to see the S&P 500 index hold above the pink line. It has had resistance at the red arrows at that line in the past month, and it also has had support at that line where the green arrows are, where it's come down to that line, but it hasn't gone below it. I did make 2 purchases this week. I made a B3 in Roku, and I made a B1 in Skyworks, which also happened to sell. Every time I purchase a stock, I set a stop limit order as my floor, initially at 8% below my purchase price. And then I review my charts every week to see if there's a spot where I could possibly raise my floor to. Nvidia Corp, stock symbol NVDA. Nvidia is my biggest loser of the week. It was down 4%, and it's my only losing stock overall right now that I have. MarketSmith shows that it's in a weekly 5-week flat base that's 14% deep, which means from the top of the base to the bottom of the base, it's 14%. When will this stock break out? I did leave my floor where I had raised it to last week. I've held Nvidia for just over 3 weeks and it's down almost 2%. Advanced Micro Devices Inc., stock symbol AMD. AMD lost a little ground this week. It went down 2.5% for the week, and it did close under that 8-day simple moving average, but it's still in the pivot buy range on MarketSmith. I had wanted this stock to close above and hold 95, but it closed the week at 91.65. Can it reach and hold 95 in the upcoming week? I did leave my floor, which is basically at my purchase price, so if it sold, I might have a tiny loss. I've held AMD for 3 weeks and it's at 5.1%. Hologic Inc. had a 1.6% gain for the week. I wanted to see it close above 74, and it closed the week at 74.32, so it made that goal. It had gone as high as 76.44 on Thursday, but then it pulled back some. It still has a lagging relative strength line at 81, and the accumulation distribution is a C+ on my tweaked screen. I did raise my floor up to the 31-day exponential moving average at $70.81. If this triggered my floor, I would have a small gain. I've held HOLX for 3.5 weeks, and I have a 6.2% gain. I like to add to my positions as they prove themselves. Roku Inc., stock symbol ROKU. I made a B3 on Monday when the price dropped a little bit. My B3 is up 14% for the week, and the stock overall is up 11% for the week. It's my best performer this week. I did raise my floor for all my buys to the 16-day simple moving average. My B3 would still have triggered a loss if it hits that floor, but I thought it was too soon to move it up and too high to move it up to that 8-day simple moving average. So I'm happy with it at 289.57. I have 3 buys in Roku. My B1 I've held for 4.5 weeks and it's up 42%. Awesome. And my B2 I've held just under 3 weeks and it's up 20%. And my B3, like I said, I've held it just this 1 week for 5 days and it's up 14%. Don't let a double-digit gain turn into a loss. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, stock symbol TSM. TSM held steady for the week with a 0.3% increase after breaking out from the consolidation last week. TSM seems to have a stair-stepper pattern where it goes up quickly, then it consolidates for a while, then it goes up again and consolidates, and then it does this pattern over and over. I wanted to see it break 105 and hold that, but it closed the week at 104.03. Can it break and hold 105 in the upcoming week? We'll see. I did raise my floor to the 31-day exponential moving average at $97. I have one buy in this stock that I've held for 5 weeks, and it's up 13.4%. Yeti Holdings Inc., stock symbol YETI. Yeti lost ground last week and was down 2.1%. It was straddling the 8-day simple moving average, and I wanted to see it close above this. This week, Yeti's up 8.7% and well above the 8-day simple moving average. Friday, it retraced Thursday's price action and closed around the low of Thursday at 68.27. Can Yeti close above 72 in the upcoming week? I did move my floor up to that 31-day exponential moving average, that diagonal blue line. I have 2 buys in Yeti. My B1 I've held for 3.5 weeks and it's up 17.5%, and my B2 I've held for 2 weeks and it's up 8.2%. Neogenomics, stock symbol NEO. Neo's up 5.7% this week, and it's holding above its 8-day simple moving average, that diagonal pink line, since November 20th. I did raise my floor to 1% above my B2 price for all of my buys. That floor now is at 46.14. I have 3 buys in Neo. My B1 I've held for 3.5 weeks and it's up 19%. My B2 I've held just under 3 weeks and it's up 11%. And my B3 I've held just under 2 weeks and it's up 7.3%. Paycom Software Inc., stock symbol PAYC. Paycom is down 3% for the week. I put in an alert last week at $420, and it did trigger. It wasn't a sell, it was just an alert to say, oops, this stock's going down. It popped right back up, so I still have this stock, and I set another alert at $420. I would like it to see it close the upcoming week above its 8-day simple moving average, and I did leave my floor where I had set it last week. So I am contemplating selling this stock. I've held it the longest, almost for 10 weeks, and my B1 purchase is up 24%, and my B2 purchase I've held just under 9 weeks, and it's up 12%. If I do sell this, the beauty of a stock is that you can always buy it back if you want to. Tesla Inc., stock symbol TSLA. Last week, Tesla kissed the 8-day simple moving average on Wednesday, and then it popped back. This week, it kissed the 16-day simple moving average and popped back. Is this a sign that a consolidation is starting? I did raise my floor to the 31-day exponential moving average for my B1 and my B2, and my B3 floor is still at 8%. I wanted to see Tesla reach and hold 600, which it did. Can it hold the 600 in the upcoming week? I have 3 buys in Tesla. My B1 I've held for 4.5 weeks and it's up 45.4%. Crazy. My B2 I've held for 3.5 weeks and it's up 21.7%. And my B3 I've held for 2 weeks and it's up 5.3%. I did sell 2 stocks this week, PFSI and Skyworks. PennyMac Financial Services, PFSI. Last week when I did my presentation, I talked myself out of this stock and moved my floor super tight. It triggered on Monday and sold. I sold it for a tiny loss of 0.5% and I held it just over a week. I bought Skyworks on Monday when PennyMac Financial Services sold, but Skyworks sold at the end of the week. I held it all week and I lost 8%. I'd owned this stock several years ago and saw that it came back up on the breaking out today list and thought I'd give it a try. It didn't work out for me this time. My current holding bar chart shows 1 bar for each week or portion of a week that I've owned the stock. Nvidia is below the dashed black line, which shows that I have a loss from my $10,000 initial purchase amount. This chart's just showing my B1 purchases. AMD and Paycom also pulled back a little this week, but the rest of the stocks are continuing to increase in value. My current dollar value gain, I sort with the lowest value on the top. This is the dollar gain, is just showing the gain or loss on my initial $10,000 purchase. I have 1 loser stock, Nvidia. I have 2 stocks with under $1,000 gain, AMD and HOLX. And then I put a little number next to the stocks where I have more than 1 purchase, and it's great that they're all clustering at the bottom of this list. That means that I've added to my best positions. Yeti is performing well, and I'd like to make a B3 for Yeti this week. The weekly percentage change, I also sort with the lowest value on the top. The 3 stocks that didn't beat the S&P 500 this week are Nvidia, Paycom, and AMD. I like to focus on my losers and get rid of the stocks that are bringing my portfolio down. I want the stocks to be beating the S&P 500, and I also like them to be making at least 1% a week. A stock that doesn't meet this criteria for 3 weeks is likely to be removed from my portfolio. I've had some super winners in the last 4 weeks. This week and the week of November 27th, I had 3 stocks that gained over 5%. And the week of December 4th and November 20th, I had 4 stocks that gained over 4%, which is crazy. The benchmark shows that after 2 years and 35 weeks, my $100,000 has grown to $163,872 versus the S&P 500 for the same time frame has grown to $137,916. The majority of my gain this week came from my existing holdings, which accounted to $4,303 of the change from last week to this week. I had a loss in a stock that I held last week and sold this week. PennyMac Financial Services lost $259 from last week to this week. And then I had a loss also in my new purchases this week of $220. The S&P 500 was down 1% for the week versus the Melissa method up 2.4% for the week. I have that down at the bottom circled in blue. This is my first 4 weeks in a row with a positive gain for my experiment year 3. Yay! The year-to-date S&P 500 is up 13.4% versus 10.6% for the Melissa method. I'm in striking distance of beating the S&P 500 for the year with 3 more weeks to go. My year 3 experiment is another story. My experiment year started mid-April, and I'm super behind the S&P 500 gains. The S&P 500 for my experiment year is up 31.3% versus the Melissa method up 13.3%. The industry and sector breakdown shows that I'm most heavily weighted in leisure stocks, followed by medical, chips, auto, and software. In leisure, I have Roku with 3 buys and Yeti with 2 buys. And you can see the other stocks where I have either 3 buys or 2 buys in them with that red number on them. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel, The Melissa Method. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.